This demonstration would deal with metered hems on inner and outer corners. Let's start with the inner corner. Make a rectangle with a length that matches your edge. My edge is 500 millimeters, and I know that I want this hem to be 10 millimeters. So get your rectangle, left click, you want to put in 10. Okay. Now I want to move the edge that is not close to my garment down the same amount as my short side, which is 10 millimeters. This works with edges that are at 90-degree angles. This edge is not at a 90-degree angle at the top, but we'll deal with that in a minute. It is at a 90-degree angle here, and we need it to stay that way for the outer edge that we're going to put down here. So let's go ahead and move this down 10 to match this right now. So now move it, but while you're moving it, hit Control to constrain it. Now keep the Control button held down and the left mouse button held down, and then right click. This brings up the translate menu. We're going to put in 10. Okay. So like I said, if you had an inner corner that was at a right angle, this would match perfectly, as it will match perfectly down here with the outer angle, which is at a right angle. However, we have a different situation here because this is not a right angle here. This is a steep angle. And through trial and error, I found that 30 worked well for here. So we're going to move this down. I'm going to move it and then hold Control to around 30. Okay. And sometimes with these type of crazy angles, you'll just have to play with it until you get it to look right. Just move this down until it straightens out here. Okay, now we're going to Control C to copy. Oh, before we do that, let's change the color here so we can see these better. Now we're going to Control C to copy, Control R to reverse paste. Alright. And then we want to arrange these. Just get them somewhat where they're supposed to be. And then you can sew them. Segment sew. Also sew them together here. And simulate. Okay. And that's your inner corner. To make the outer edge, we start like we did before with a rectangle that matches the edge of the garment, which is 250 in this case. We're going to go with 10 again. I'm going to go ahead and change color. Okay. Now, I will move the point that is farthest away from the edge, this point here, so that it matches up to this point. So I'm going to line this up good as I can. Then I'm going to select this, move it, and hit Control, and then drag it until it meets up perfectly. Okay. And now I'm going to Control C to copy, Control R to mirror paste. Shift select both of these, move them to the front. Segment sew them. And there's our outer edges and inner edges. So just to recap, make sure that you move the point or edge that is not next to the garment. Okay. And the inner point moves away from the inner corner. So just note that this is moving away from the corner. This point moves down and away from the corner. On the outer edge, this point moves beyond the corner, moves away from the corner. And now to make these edges enclosed, we will use the new unfold feature in Marvelous Designer, which is a really great feature. I really love it. Okay. So what you want to do is click the edge that isn't sewn. Okay. And then you can hit Control F to unfold it. You can also go up to Pattern, Unfold. Okay. That'll also get you the same effect. Now we want to draw an internal line down the middle of here. I'm going to turn on the grid. Just to make it go smoother here. Okay. And I'm going to make that line 0. Give it a 0 folding angle. And then I'm going to repeat those steps for the others. Just clicking and Control F. Control F. Now if you are using an older version, you obviously can do the same thing. You would just have to make these shapes by hand instead of using the unfold. Then go back through here and make sure I give these 0. And I'm going to change the particle distance to 8. You can do 8 or below. And then I want to simulate until the pieces curl under. And if you look here, you'll see that this piece is sticking out. So I want to turn it around and just click and drag on it, the fabric, until it's turned the right way. It's important that it's turned behind. In the old versions, you had to use Q to pick and drag the fabric, but now in this latest version, you just click and drag the fabric. You don't have to hold Q. Okay, so everything is behind like it should be. Now I can just sew the edges. So I'm going to segment sew this edge to this edge. Okay. And if you look down here, you can see where the seam is twisted. And that's easy enough fix. Just select your edit seam line tool, click, and right click, and hit reverse seam. And that's fixed. Now you have enclosed metered corners.